This is the beautiful thing when you're parenting and maybe didn't have that same experience growing up, is you get to do things differently. You get to do things the way you would have loved to have been loved as a child. And in so many ways, as I love and parent her, I am loving and parenting the little Amanda inside, and it makes all of us also very happy. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. I'm AmandaMuse, and today I felt super inspired to talk to you about connecting with your tween. So I'm a mom of two. My daughter is 11 and my son is 9, and I feel like they're both in this like kind of early tween phase. I also recently learned that apparently per medical definition, a teenager begins at 11, which is wild. So here we are. But I still consider her a tween. She's still in that young age, grade 6. It's an exciting time. It is a time filled with change, and change can be really hard for a lot of people, especially for the person going through it, so your child. And I thought I would just sit down with you and offer you like 5 things that I've been doing lately to reconnect with my daughter, to stay connected with my daughter, and probably most importantly is to break the cycle of generational trauma. Things didn't exactly go like this as I was growing up, so I don't have a foundation where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do all the things that my parents did with me, or that, no. Like I am trial and error with my kids. I try to do what works. Trust me, I do a lot of things that don't work. But I have found a way to stay on really good terms with my daughter, and I thought I would, share some of this. Trust me, it's not good terms every day. We got to be realistic with these relationships. I mean, parenting ain't no joke, and it comes with no rule book. So with that said, here are 5 things I've been doing. And also, I just want to say, if you're like me and you're breaking generational trauma, like, you're amazing. You're awesome. You're probably going to screw up a ton. So am I. It's life. But the fact that we're trying and we're showing up for our kids is amazing. So go you. The first thing that I really try hard to do is to maintain eye contact, not like scary eye contact, but when they're speaking to me, to engage with them, to stop what I'm doing. I work on my phone a lot, and then sidebar, being on your phone is pretty fun. I like being on Instagram. I like scrolling through TikTok. I like reading articles. It is a source of entertainment as well as work. So when I tell you I'm on my phone a lot, trust me, I'm on my phone a lot. And it's not great for building relationships when you're not like physically present with the other person. So what I try to do is put my phone down and also like physically turn my body towards them, listen, even if in that moment I'm like, I want to do nothing but read my article or sip my coffee in silence. But obviously my kid's coming to me with something, and it's like really important that they have my attention, and I want them to keep coming to me. So in order to do that, I have to show interest. Even if in my mind sometimes I'm like, Amanda, be better. You're a good person. Put your phone down. Look at her eyes. Actively listen. Like, sometimes you got to coach yourself through it, especially when you might be tired. Your cup might not be overflowing because you're not getting your needs met and all these things. But parenting is selfless in a lot of ways. So I try to put that down, maintain eye contact, and actively listen. I'm telling you, it goes a long way. Add to it that, what they're going through is the biggest, most important thing that they're going through. Even though you've been there, done that, it's just minor, they will probably never speak to these people in 15 years, 20 years, they're gonna be just like a blip on the radar, but to them right now, it's everything. The second one is a big one, for me especially. It's physical touch. I did not grow up in a house where there was a lot of affection in that way. I had it with other family members that were close to me, but I didn't see them as often. And so I craved it as a little person, but I didn't know how to ask for it. And so with my own children, what I find tricky is that it's not necessarily the most natural thing for me as an adult to approach my older children and like give them a hug and play with their hair. Like, I don't know how to do that because I wasn't shown how to do that. Oh my God, that makes me emotional just saying that out loud as I'm realizing it. So what I consciously do is, because I'm aware of it, and I started this a few years ago, and I know I talked to you guys about it in the past, but I make a point to kind of be like not forceful where it's not wanted. Like, obviously there's consent. I'm a very silly mom, I'll tell you that. As much as I am the the discipline, the rule maker, the schedule creator. I'm also like the silliness person. Like I will stop, drop, and twerk at any point in the day to get a laugh. You know what I mean? Like I'm that person for sure. But I'll be like, hey, you want a hug? You want a kiss? And I can tell when they're like, absolutely not. And they're like, get away from me. But I can tell when there's like a little twinkle in the eye. And I'm like, come here, bring it in. Bring it in. And my arms open. I welcome and invite the physical connection because I realize how important that is for our emotional well-being, for our like just feeling connected, especially when my kids are having a moment. And I'll stick to just my daughter, the tween, because it's different with my 9-year-old at this point. You know your kid best, but I do find that there are times when my daughter is, let's say, chirping and angry and all of this stuff and kind of feels like she's carrying this little rain cloud with her, that those are the moments that she needs me the most, even though the words that are coming out of her mouth are, I don't like you, I hate this, but all of this like mean, aggressive vocabulary. Ignoring what I just said to start this video, which was listen and all that stuff, those words I don't take as gospel. That I take as like, what else is going on around her? You know, I'll ask her, coming back to the physical touch thing, like, hey, do you want to talk about it? Do you want me to come and like sit in your bed with you? In her comfort zone, in her comfort area. And sometimes it's yes and sometimes it's no. I check in on her physical needs. Like, is she tired? Could she use some downtime, like with her phone or just watching a show she really likes? Does she want to listen to some music? Does she want me to snuggle with her and like tickle her back? Or, you know, finding out like, is she hungry? Like those kinds of things, kind of like what I would do for myself when I'm having a moment, right? Knowing that I have like a lot more time on this earth learning coping skills and things that are going to help me when I'm triggered. I try to help her go through that checklist of like, what's working, what's not working. And sometimes it's just, leave me alone. I need to go through this. And I'll say, okay, I'll come check on you in a little bit, kind of thing. Because me hovering and helicoptering over her may not help her get through the process, but I want her to know that I'm there and I'm available. And most recently what I've been doing, it's kind of wooey and a little bit hippy dippy, but she loves it. So with her being older and not needing me to like put her to bed at night, I still like to go in and tuck her in and give her a smooch. And if she wants to let anything off her chest at the end of the day, now's the time. You know, my kids like to do these things with their dad called dad talks. And so I try mom talks, like I'm not as great at it. To be honest, I'm always home and always around where he comes and goes because of his job. So they don't have as much to offload with me at the end of the day because I get it like all day, you know? Anyway, point is, I've been doing these face massages at night. So somehow I ended up, actually, I'm gonna show you the kit. So here's the little kit. And inside of it, I have a face dry brush thing. I don't even know how I ended up with this, but I have one of these. I have this face oil. This face oil from The Ordinary, and this is 100% organic cold pressed rose hip seed oil. This was for me initially, okay? We have a gua sha stone. So I was given these at my birthday last year and I love them and they have different meanings. Here's the stones. So basically I start with the dry brush and I do this face massage and then I do the oil and then I do the gua sha stone very lightly and then I put a little crystal in their chakras and it is the cutest thing. She absolutely loves it. And now I've kind of created a problem though, because now every night I get, Mom, it's face massage time. So I've created a bit of work for myself. I gotta like limit this to somehow making it like a special thing where it's like 2 to 3 times a week or something. I don't know. But the point is, the biggest complaint I hear as our kids get older is that, you know, there is this natural disconnection that's gonna happen. It's important, right? They need to become independent from us to go out into the world and do incredible things. So it's this slow process of disconnection and I'm here for it. I don't feel that sadness that some parents talk about where they long for younger years. Like I really don't. I give it my all in each chapter so that I'm ready for the next one and I'm excited, you know? So all of that to say, finding ways to create a physical connection is really quite special. And I mean, I even shared on my Instagram where we had like our legs all intertwined, and we were giggling and laughing, and it's I didn't have that growing up, and I just, you know, I love it. I truly do love it that my daughter feels safe in my presence, in my physical presence, that she wants to connect with me like that, and I just love it. So anyway, just a little tip in case you're trying to find ways. Work at it slowly to try to reconnect. Each kid is different, their needs are different, but it's worth trying. Number 3 is a little bit of a passive connection, but watching television shows together, especially ones that they like, which can be painful because the shows I like and the shows that she likes are very different. However, we connected on Emily in Paris, which is such a fluffy show. I can't wait for the next season to come out. Like, we're both so excited. It was such a fun, silly, completely unrealistic show. Like, nobody that young can afford that apartment and that wardrobe. The show is ridiculous. We enjoyed watching it together. She's talking about another one, Ginny in Georgia, but she's already seen it. I think it has a little bit more mature content, but I mean, with TikTok, what exactly is mature content? You know what I mean? But anyway, so finding something to connect like that passively is also really fun. I don't find she wants to sit down and watch movies with me anymore. It's like too much of a commitment. That's okay. I'm okay for the occasional TV show. One thing we do like to do to leave the house is take little car rides, because, you know, occasionally got to go places. Am I opposed to bribing? Never. I occasionally will bribe this child with, hey, you want to go swing through Tim Hortons? Which is, you know, if you're in the States or wherever that doesn't have a Tim Hortons, it's a coffee shop, it's a donut shop, like Dunkin' or something. You wanna swing through Tim's and grab like a iced cappuccino and a donut? I mean, sometimes she says no and I accept, but often she'll say yes, especially if it's Starbucks. So, you know, save your points, treat your children. But lately we are, with spring coming, we both love a good Circle K Coke slushie. Like, I love me a Coke slushie. Okay, it just hits. It hits that. It's the best freaking thing ever. But we don't have one close to us, so we get in the car. I let her connect her phone to Bluetooth, and then she controls the music, and we sing and we laugh, and the music's too loud and we're singing at the top of our lungs. But this is the memory making shit, okay? Are you gonna get a headache? Maybe. Maybe, with all that sugar and all of that loud music, but your kids are going to love it. And it's not like it happens all the time. It doesn't happen every time we drive somewhere, but it does happen a lot. And it's kind of fun. And I know that with her being 11, as she creeps up in age, the time that we get together will become less and less. You're looking at, you know, more time with friends, more time doing a part-time job, you know, maybe boyfriends, girlfriends down the line, whatever, love interests. You know, there will be less of those moments with me. So I try to make those fun moments in and amongst all the other things that are boring and monotonous, like me nagging her to fill up the dog bowl or set the table or help with the recycling and like all the crap that I have to do as well, because it is not all roses and sunshine. I am a very, you know, I wouldn't say strict, but I have expectations, and there are certain things that she's required to do, and I expect her to do them, and I'm forceful with that. So trying to find that balance between, this is your responsibility, I am your mom, I have these requirements, but also I'm your mom and we can have a lot of fun, and let's do the fun things, right? So those car rides for slushies, which are fairly inexpensive, couple bucks, golden. And last but not least, seems easy, right? Be their biggest fan. What does that mean? You know, it means celebrating their wins when they have them, paying attention to their life. I know all of the things with all of the friends, and I feel that she trusts me enough to share things with me. Even when she shares stuff with me that I maybe told her not to do, maybe told her not to say, she still comes to me, because I find that what worked for me as a kid when I did some dumb shit was not necessarily getting in trouble right away for it, because I did get in trouble for things, but it was like working through what happened, why I'm upset, if it's potentially a risky behavior thing, or there was some danger, or if there's something she tells me about a friend and I'm like, listen, this is a really, you know, important thing, I need to address it with the parent. Like, we have this open dialogue. It's not just like black and white. There's a lot of gray area. I want to be that person that she vents to and feels loved and supported by, but then can also offer guidance and help steer her in a direction where she starts learning some life skills on how to cope with some stuff. I want her to feel things, because we got to feel stuff. I mean, that's probably a really good coping skill as an adult, where, you know, when she's crying, I'm not quick to speed up the process to get her to stop crying. It's like, hey, feel your stuff, man. Let that shit out. Try to let her exist in the space that she needs. It's essentially unconditional love. That's what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, I lose my temper, 100%. And when that happens, I'm also the first person, once I've had a moment to compose myself, go upstairs, knock on the door and be like, can I talk to you for a second? We sit down and I'm like, let me be honest, I'm going through a bunch of stuff. I don't get into all the things. She's not there to support me. What I'm trying to do is tell her, like, hey, mom reacted in this way. It wasn't okay. I shouldn't have raised my voice. I shouldn't have yelled at you. Here's why I did it. It shouldn't have happened, and I'm sorry. Don't need you to forgive me in this moment. Just want you to know I should have been better, and I'm going to work harder for the next interaction. Have I ever heard an apology for my parents being shitheads in my youth? Not a fucking one time, not even once. So I hope that by doing that, by admitting my mistakes, by really trying to be better, that she knows, hey, I am her biggest fan. I'm trying my damnedest here, you know? The other side of it is that when she does go through stuff where she needs an advocate, I am up for the challenge. Does it stress me out? Yeah, man. If you've watched any of my Instagram, you know all of the stuff I've gone through with like dress codes and dress codes. Don't even want to get into it, but yeah, I am her biggest fan, and I will fight till the death. And I will go and go until hopefully change happens and our voices are heard, because that is what you do for people that you love when they need support. And even if, let's say, for example, this dress code situation doesn't go the way I want it, doesn't go the way she wants it, knowing that I have her back, I'm confident, makes her feel supported. I've seen the change in her self-esteem because of that support. She knows we got her, but it's like we're fighting the man, you know, we're fighting Big Brother, we're fighting the goddamn patriarchy, okay? So, you know, I've got her back and I'm in her corner. Obviously, this is just my perspective as her mother. Her dad does things differently. Dean does things differently, but I'm in it, man. And I want her to feel that love and connection, because my goal down the line is like, when she's in her 30s and she stays at my house, you know, she crawls in my bed with me and snuggles with me because she feels that love and that ease with me, that comfort level, that she can be that person with me and it's okay. I don't have that. I never had that. And, you know, a part of me wishes I did. And so this is the beautiful thing when you're parenting and maybe didn't have that same experience growing up, is you get to do things differently. You get to do things the way you would have loved to have been loved as a child. And in so many ways, as I love and parent her, I am loving and parenting the little Amanda inside, and it makes all of us also very happy. So I would love to hear in the comments, you know, what are you doing differently in your parenting approach? Is there a moment you've come across with your tween that you're like, I need to share this with other parents? We want to hear it. Share it below. And I hope this message helps. I hope this video maybe gives you the confidence to try something new. And I want to just say too, like, it's never too late to break cycles. You have the power to do it. Also, therapy is incredible. I go, sometimes Esme goes to therapy. She has a therapist she connects with like on a monthly basis, just to have someone to bounce stuff off of. And I know that that is a privilege we have because of benefits and all of this, but you have the power to change, and change is possible. Even if you feel like you've messed up a bunch, you can start now and not mess up, or continue to mess up like the rest of us, but really put that effort in and repair relationships, because repair is possible and I highly recommend it. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.